Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO. And for those of you that don't know who we are, Ron and I are the co-founders of the Ridge Project and the co-creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior.
Or a founding father. You see, our vision, our passion is to help you become leaders in your home, your community, and your workplace.
So the truth is, leaders are not born, leaders are made. So we've been able to take our experience and not only put it encapsulate it in a curriculum, but now we're helping others and empower them how to become successful. Despite having a prison number, despite having experience of poverty, how do you live the American dream? How do you live the world dream that you have in your heart?
And we know firsthand what that's like because Ron did 15 years in prison while the kids and I did the time on the outside. We have overcome welfare, incarceration, societal disparagement, all kinds of things. And all of the principles that we've learned, we have now applied into our TYRO programs, and we share on this TV show to help you have the best life possible.
So we are so thankful that you decided to join us today because today's episode is powerful. We're going to break down a key principle that everybody really needs to embrace and make part of their journey, part of their lifestyle.
Especially if you're a father. If you're a dad, this is really, really important to learn, to practice, and then to teach your kids. Today, we're actually talking about...
physicalness, working out, doing the manly thing.
Sort of, kind of. We're talking about healthy habits when it comes to physical.
Healthy habits when it comes to physical maturity. Well-being. Well-being.
And so we're going to break down exactly what we're talking about, why it's so important, and how you can not just learn to practice them, but actually empower your children to be physically healthy. And so you don't want to miss today's episode because you've got a lot of impact from even where you are.
So practice makes what, Tyros? Permanent, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today, practicing a habit that's going to become permanent in your life. So stay tuned and we will be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine TYRO's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO.
And today we're talking about creating great habits physically.
That's right. Healthy habits, when we think about your physical health, developing healthy habits, because there's lots of ways you can develop healthy habits. But today we're going to focus on those healthy habits that have to do with your physical well-being.
For example, eating.
Ooh,
right? That's right off the top.
One.
Everybody knows.
Why you got to start there?
Well,
what are you saying?
Well, because I was in a place in my life not too long ago where I wasn't healthy. I didn't practice healthy eating. If you cooked it, baby, I ate it. And then some.
No, not even just if I cooked it. If you could buy it in the store, you could buy it at a fast food restaurant, you ate it.
But the thing about it is, not only was I eating all this great food, right? I wasn't burning it off, right? So there's a lot of things to talk about when we talk about being healthy physically. And we talk about eating. We're going to tell you what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about eating. We're going to talk about physical working out, physical fitness, and also sleeping, right?
You see, we get caught up in our normal habits of this is how we eat. If you've ever seen that show, what is it? Fit to Fat to Fit?
Fit to Fat to Fit.
Okay, Ron's show should be called Fat to Fit to Fat to Fit. Because we've been there, right? And so we totally understand what it's like to develop unhealthy habits and to start to make those unhealthy habits seem normal. And we convince ourselves that they're totally fine. And so what we're talking about is really examining how you are managing your physical health. Because how you're managing your physical health is impacting your children. We had a friend who was a pretty big guy. I mean, he was big guy, and he was expecting his first baby. And he said just one day, and he was thinking about all these things, and he was thinking, wow, I can't really run because I'm so heavy. I can't really play because I'm so heavy. And then he says, like, he had this epiphany, wow, I'm fat dad. Like, my daughter's going to go to school, and they're going to be like, wow, or his son, my child's going to go to school, and they're going to say, wow, her dad's that fat dad. And he says, I don't want to be fat dad. I want to change that A to an I, and I want to be fit dad.
Fit dad.
It totally changed his lifestyle. And that's what we're talking about.
So we're talking about TYRO Fit, right? Mm-hmm. TYRO Fit, which really the acronym for fit is Fathers in Training. Mm-hmm. Come on, Dad. Right? So TYRO Fit looks like this. Okay, so usually when we become depressed, right, and you're in an environment, so a lot of our healthy habits are based upon our attitude.
Right.
Is our attitude healthy? Because if your attitude is not healthy, if you're wounded and you stay wounded people wound others. But the first person you wound is yourself. So we become gluttony, we become depressed, we don't want to get up, we don't want to move, but guess what? We still consume food.
That's right. And we consume more and more things that become poison to us. So what we're talking about is making sure that you are really taking an honest look at your habits and saying, you know what, are these healthy habits? Are these habits going to sustain this vehicle across a lifetime? Are these habits that I want to transfer into my children's lives? Or are these habits unhealthy, and are they going to be detrimental not just to myself, but to my children?
So having a physical healthy habit is, first off, you got to have a attitude that is healthy, that is alive and that is growing, right? And that is really where people look at you. They don't even, listen, here's the thing about it is, when you're in the penitentiary, do people know you're in the prison penitentiary? Do you exhibit that? You might be wearing prison blues, but is your attitude saying, I am incarcerated?
Right. I'm a convict, right?
Or does your attitude say, you know what? You might have my physical body incarcerated, but not my mind. Right? Are you growing in there? Because once you begin to experience that type of healing in your attitude, it will begin to exemplify outwardly. I can tell people, if you're depressed, that are obese or overweight, we're going to talk about the three things. Sleeping, are you sleeping all day? Are you sleeping away? Your time away? These are bad habits that really come from your bad attitude.
Or are you staying up all night and not sleeping at all? I mean, either way. So what we're talking about is taking an honest look at where you are in your physical health. And as you do this, Dad, I know it's hard. I mean, we've both been there. We both have been like, wow, what the heck are we doing? We are driving our bodies into the ground, and we're demanding a lot of them, and we want to be around for a long time. So we get where you're at. But you've got to look at it, and you've got to see it as an observation and not a value statement. Because if you see it as a value statement, you cripple yourself. But if you see it as an observation of, you know what? I'm not sleeping right.
Well, we might need to give an example. What you're talking about, Cathy, when you're talking about a value statement versus an observation.
Okay, so if you get on the scales and you say, oh wow, I am 30 pounds overweight of what my normal weight should be. That's an observation. A value statement says, like, man, I am fat, I am lazy, nobody's ever going to want to be with me, there's nothing I can do about it, I suck, right? Now you've created a value statement that number on the scale determines your value, and that's not true. The number on the scale is simply an observation of, wow, this is what it is, and then being empowered to say, you know what, I need to do something.
And so we're talking about back to when you do this and healthy attitude, because how you look at it is going to determine how you respond to it, right? And so if you look at it for what it is what it is. Okay, you know what? I'm 30 pounds overweight. What are you gonna do about it? And you know what? I'm going to start hitting that treadmill. You know what? That's a challenge for me. I let myself go. You know what? I took a year off. It's time to get back on, right?
Right.
And then the thing about it is, when you begin to feel better about yourself, we're going to really break this down, man. I'm telling you, we come back. When you start to do this, you're going to take that new excitement, that new attitude, the new healing power of your attitude into the visits with your kids.
And we're going to be talking more about why it's so important to be physically healthy, especially as a dad, when we come back. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through family days. As a TYRO dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO.
And today we're having a wonderful, wonderful discussion about TYRO Fit.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee.
Which means building healthy habits to be physically fit.
And this is crucial, guys, because if you're not taking care of yourself physically while you're incarcerated, I guarantee you, life is going to hit you so fast, so hard when you hit home, you're not going to have time to think about the gym. You're not going to have time to think about eating right. You're going to be eating McDonald's and Burger King and French fries and all that, and you're not going to be thinking about eating broccoli or cauliflower.
Right. And the message you're sending to everybody else is that you don't matter, that you're not important enough to care about your health. So you're sending that message to your kids that basically, you know what, self-control doesn't matter. I don't need to be self-controlled. It doesn't really matter. I don't matter. My health doesn't matter. My weight doesn't matter.
Yep.
And that's not true. It matters. And Dad, let me tell you this, and I know that we've said it on other shows, but I'm going to say it again. It matters even more so for you because there was a study that came out that showed that every year of incarceration takes a year off of your lifespan. So the
I think you need to say that again because I want to expound a little bit about that, what that looks like.
Every year that you are incarcerated, statistically speaking, the research showed that it shaved 1 year off of your life. So if your life expectancy was 75 and you did 15 years in prison, you've now shaved 15 years off of your life expectancy because of the stress and the way that you're eating while you're in prison. So it's even more important if you want to be around to see your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, you want to be there to raise your kids, you've got to take your physical health very seriously.
Because when you get home and you want life insurance,
Oh, yeah.
they already know this study, right? They know that this is a statistic, and so they've already put in countermeasures to counter that, right? So if you go to a life insurance company, you just get out of prison, say you serve 10 years, you get out and you say, hey, I want some life insurance. And they're going to come to you and they say, we will sell you life insurance at $600 or more a month.
Right, which is ridiculous. It's like if I had $600 a month to put
We
away,
don't need-
we don't need life insurance.
No, the reason why they do that because they know that you have that something could happen to you within 5 years, statistically speaking.
Right.
Right. So you're high risk.
So they're waiting. They say you could, in 5 years, then your rates go down to everybody else. 5 years after you've
takes.
been out. So it's really important as you begin to set healthy habits in there, you are first of all putting your own life on a course of more longevity. Number one. Number two, you are setting a standard for your children to look and say, wow, this is expected. I should be active. I should be watching what I eat. I should be sleeping and making sure that I'm getting at least 8 hours of sleep every night so that I'm ready emotionally, mentally, and physically for whatever the challenges are the next day. If you don't put a priority on your own physical health, your children will not put a priority on their physical health.
You know, I know that things drive us, right? We get excited about things. And you could be really excited about this new job. But if this job requires you to be physically fit, right, you're not going to make it. You might, if you're lacking sleep and you're not getting enough sleep, right, you're going to take that habit. Listen, practice makes what? Practice makes permanent. I can't say that enough. Practice makes permanent. Whatever you're doing inside there, I promise you, you're going to take that with you out there. So if you're staying up all night and all day, right, or you're going to the hole, you can't get along, you're taking that behavior or that attitude with you when you hit the streets. Now, say you're being physically fit and you're doing everything you can while you're incarcerated, and you go home and you're going to try to convert your family overnight.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
You are setting a standard by your own actions. And so actions speak louder than words. So as we watched Ron, like we weren't really a working out family. My boys might have done some working out. I didn't. And so as Ron came home and I started watching him, that he made it a priority to eat right. He made it a priority to set time aside to work out. I thought, you know what? That's important. I want to have the same amount of stamina so that when we go on vacation and we're hiking, I'm not way back here and he's way up here. I want to be able to keep pace. And so automatically, without him saying, hey, Cathy, you need to work out, I was like, you know what? I need to start putting some more physical activity in my life. The important thing is you're setting a different culture and a different standard, a different expectation for you and for your family. You already have enough obstacles to face and overcome, and so do they. You don't need to add poor physical health to that list.
You know, we think about why is this important? We think about who you say you are, right? Your vehicle that you're in, that this is the vehicle, this is all you have. You got one car to drive, man. But if you're not taking care of it, if you're not changing the oil, you're not putting good gas in it, right? Or you're not changing the tire, everything we do for a physical car, right? Now, I don't know if you ever had a clunker, right? They had a program back in the day called Cash for Clunkers, right? I don't want to drive a clunker anymore. I don't want to get out of breath when I'm running. I want to live to see my grandchildren. I want to take care of myself physically.
Right.
That means I had to make a conscious decision to do push-aways, right? And you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, you don't got to eat everything they're serving you. They're not even giving you all that what you want, right? So be careful, be conscious. You know, you might go get you 10 boxes of Debbie's with your state pay. Come on, right?
Stop that.
Stop that. Go get some good food, and then really compartmentalize your thinking. Do I really need to eat this whole break in one setting, right? You know, spread it out.
So as we think about why it's so important, remember this is really important. Your physical health does not determine your value. And so I hope that that's not what you're thinking. It doesn't matter what the scale says. It doesn't matter what you can and cannot do, how often you're sleeping. That doesn't determine your value. What it determines is your ability to keep pace with your children, to set a tone and a culture for your family, not the value of who you are. So when we come back, we're going to talk about how you can change the culture, your physical, healthy habits. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about Mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO.
And today we're talking about having a physical, healthy life.
Right. Building healthy habits physically.
Right where you're at. And this is really important because we talked about practice makes what? Practice makes permanent. So what you do inside will determine your future when you're outside. I guarantee you. So if you're not practicing great habits inside the institution or wherever you're at, Dad, listen to me. You will take that behavior, you will take that attitude with you. And people will wonder, geez, why you still act like you're in prison? Because I meet a lot of guys who still practice behaviors that you will find typically inside prisons.
Right.
They're doing it out here. I'm like, dude,
stop that.
What are you doing out here? We don't do that out
Why
here.
are you making all those breaks with the squeeze cheese? Put it away, right?
There's real cheese. There's real cheese.
There's much better ways to make snacks out here. So we want to talk to you about how can you make the transition? Because I know it's scary. I mean, I remember when I got on the scale, I was thinking, wow, you know what? I need to lose 15, 20 pounds.
She was never.
Oh, yes, I did. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, that's overwhelming. And
Bad example. Let's go with me.
I love it.
Just recently, I weighed 190 pounds. I let myself go.
And he's 5'4".
I'm 5'4" at 190, 42-inch waist. Come on, we're going to talk about me, babe. Okay, come on. Right? So, but what did I have to do? Now, how did I get there? That's the question. Because I wasn't depressed. I was caught up. I got caught up in all this stuff, and I just didn't take time.
And you became addicted to sugar.
I was addicted to sugar. I ain't lying. You know what? I woke up in the morning wanting sugar. In the afternoon, I was fiending,
Get up
man.
in the
I was
middle of the
fiending.
night, let the dog out, grab a candy bar on the way back to bed. I'm like,
But
what are you
we
doing?
would purchase everything that a drug addict wanted if you were addicted to sugar.
Right.
There would be chips, cookies, special breads with cheese in them, and everything was made. It was there at my
Cookies,
disposal.
pies, cakes,
And
right?
finally, we made a conscious decision. Enough.
And so for us, we got all the sugar out of our house. Now that was a big deal because our house is a whole household, right? And so right now, if you begin practicing that where you are, you're talking about your, what is it, 4x4?
No, 2.4 locker box.
Your 2.4 lockbox. Get the sugar out. I know you're like, oh, no, heck no. But I promise you, just that first step is going to make a big difference.
I got your back, guys. Okay, you learn how to treat yourself, right? Because we're not saying sugar in and of itself. It's because we get indulged, we get
It's
addicted.
the excess of sugar.
But if you have like a treat day once a week, gentlemen, listen.
Okay,
right?
I'm gonna even make the challenge like for real, because that's not even that big of a challenge. It shouldn't be that big.
It
of a challenge.
is if you're addicted.
So if you're addicted, take 3 weeks.
There you go.
21 days, no sugar.
No
After 21 days, have a treat day once a week. Because
All right.
if you have the treat day once a week,
She just told you what I did.
Yeah, that's what we did, right? We said,
yeah.
okay, 3 weeks, no sugar, and now we can start having sugar once a week. So if you really want to say, you know what, I want to be more focused mentally, I want to have more energy, I want to have more stamina, I want to be able to lose a few pounds, and even if you don't want to lose a few pounds, if you just want to be healthier overall, kick the sugar out of your main course meal, right?
3
you don't need to
weeks.
have it every day.
3 weeks, 21 days. Practice makes what? Practice makes permanent. We guarantee you, if you begin practicing this challenge, it will turn from a challenge to a lifestyle.
That's
And
right.
that's what you want to become. You want to become, and then when you're exhibiting this lifestyle, people are going to look at you, man, what's going on? Because your body will automatically, physically begin to change, along with your mental faculties and your attitude.
It's like the mental focus without sugar is amazing. I'm going to challenge you. 3 weeks, no sugar, and then just once a week treat day.
And
So
that's how you do
the
this.
first one.
That's how you do that. That's number
And so when
one.
we say no sugar, we mean no candy, no cookies, no cake, but also no bread, because bread turns right to sugar.
Well, Cathy,
So
all
no
they
grains.
eat, all we have in there, and what was in there was ramen noodle soups.
Okay,
and
no, stop
that's sugar. That's processed food.
Right.
Right. So we're gonna do, when you really want to do this.
Right.
Right. This ain't no joke. Discipline don't walk with chumps. I know. I was a chump, and I call myself walking with discipline, and do ain't nowhere to be found. Until, so I'm overweight, right? And so I'm at a restaurant, and I got my mentor in there with me, and he's seeing that I'm trying to eat a salad and not eat a steak or anything. I'm not eating food. I said, well, I'm trying to lose some weight. And he says, so you have a problem with overeating? Right? He's checking me. He's checking me. I said,
With food.
With food. You got a problem with food? I said, you know what? Yeah, I do. I got a problem with food. But then we left. I went back to think about my answer that I gave him, and that wasn't the right answer. My problem wasn't with the food, because in and of itself, food is nothing. My battle was I was fighting discipline. Because if I had been practicing discipline in this area of my life, right, I would have self-control when it came to my intake.
And then you can eat whatever you want when you want it, understanding that, you know what, I don't need to have a Debbie every day. I can save my little Debbies for Saturdays, right? Okay, so we talked about the food.
Yep.
That's the first thing. The second thing is sleep. And so how to do this, you think about, okay, what time do I need to wake up, or what time do I want to wake up in the morning? Back that up 7 or 8 hours. 7 or 8 hours. You need 7 or 8 hours of sleep. So if you want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, what time do you have to be in bed by? Think about half an hour ahead of when you really want to be asleep.
10:30, 11 o'clock.
And so you say, okay, if I'm going to go to bed at 10:30 so I can fall asleep by 11 o'clock, so I can get up by 6 a.m., that gives me 7 hours straight of sleep. That's what I need to do. And you need to make that a hard spot. So you need to say, hey, you know what? Sorry, I got to turn off the TV. I got to lay it down. It's time for me to go to bed.
Yep.
And you begin to reset your internal clock so that you eventually won't even need an alarm clock, because now you're getting the right amount of sleep. You're not oversleeping, but you're also not undersleeping. And again, it's going to improve your mental capacity and your physical abilities.
And then the next one is working out, gentlemen. You got a great fitness center right there called the Yard. you got your rec room, whatever it is going to take. Even if you're just going to start doing push-ups, I'm going to challenge you. I just completed a 30-day challenge right, of 200 push-ups every day. Now, in the institution, you might be saying that's nothing, right? But when you're out here working, taking care of family and everything else, making time to knock out 200 push-ups every day for 30 days is a challenge. And so I completed that successfully. But I'm going to challenge you right now, right where you're at. Do 200 to 300 push-ups every day. You have a lot of time in between to knock that out. Now, say you can't do 200. Now, listen.
So the minimum amount of exercise you must get a day is 1 hour. And so block 1 hour, and if it's push-ups, it's push-ups. If it's walking, it's walking. If it's running, whatever it is, 1 hour, and make that a hard spot, a hard place in your life. That means that nothing else can interrupt it unless it's things outside your control, like the yard gets locked down. Then run in place.
If you can't do 25 a set, do 10 a set. If you can't do 10, do 5. Whatever it takes. If it's walking 1 hour, like Cathy said, physical activity is very, very important for your attitude, for your well-being, and everything else.
For your physical health. So when we come back, we're going to wrap it all up. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine TYRO's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO.
Better known as...
Ron TYRO's wife.
Oh, that's good too. Hey, today we're talking about being physically fit. We're talking about getting enough sleep. And we're talking about eating right.
Actually, all of that under one title, Healthy Habits.
Healthy habits. You know, as we wrap this show up, Cass, you know, I really want to thank you for encouraging me and pushing me to eat right, get enough sleep, and exercise. Right?
You know, that's another really key important thing. Actually, as you say that, it wasn't what I was planning on saying, but you know what that triggered for me? Having that partner with you, having somebody with you that's encouraging you and that's doing it with you will go a long way. It helps keep you focused, it helps keep you driven, it helps keep you motivated. If you're an island unto yourself and you're just trying to make this change all by yourself, it's really easy to get discouraged. So I want to encourage you, connect with your family on the outside and say, hey, let's do this together. You guys do it on the outside, I'll do it on the inside, and then we'll share on visits. What was our treat? What was it like during the week? And if your family's not ready to take that journey with you, don't take it personal. Instead, find somebody inside that's going to walk with you until you've created this new habit and your family gets inspired by watching you.
So encouraging you really with doing what Cathy said with your family outside, find a crew that's healthy, that's really focused on getting better attitudes and everything else. 'Cause I promise you, when you look in the mirror and you like what you see, your attitude is going to be so much better. You're not going to walk around depressed and angry, because I'm telling you right now, when you're physically unfit, misery loves company. You might be thinking it's all around you, what's causing you, but really it's all internal. You don't like the way you look. You don't like the way the pants fit. You don't like the way the shirt fits.
You don't like how much energy it takes to move.
Yeah, right? And then you take it out on others because you're not doing what it takes to become happy.
So we want to encourage you. Guess what? You have the power to make positive change. You have the power to influence your culture. You have the power to change your legacy. And so we want to empower you by telling you you can do it.
You can do it.
Begin to make that change right now, right here today, and you're going to watch the impact it's going to have not just in your life, but in your children's lives.
And when you hang around those individuals who are empowering you, who are encouraging you, who become your fan and cheerleader, because you're doing the same thing for them. I say it like this. If you're not rooting for the person next to you, or if you're not rooting for the dad next to you, you can't get mad when nobody's rooting for you. So make sure that you understand what comes around goes around. Root for others to make it and watch them root for you.
So we want to thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey today.
So always remember that we are rooting for you.